And we're back here with game number 2 of this best of 3 set between the University of Pittsburgh and the University of Nevada, Reno in the CSL playoffs. I believe this, well, actually I can check right now. I'm probably pretty sure it is the round of 16. Pretty sure it is the round of 16. And I will check that right now on their brackets. The Darkseer and the Nyx Assassin were already picked up here for Pitt. A little bit of a different look. They go for the Darkseer themselves. Last match, Brodok had a ridiculous performance on the Faceless Void, just absolutely dominating. Absolutely dominating the Darkseer in the top lane. Of course, the Darkseer did a little bit better. Alright, so this is still the round of 32? Maybe not. No, it is. It is the round of 32. The winner of this will go on to play against the winner of Cornell and McGill. A couple of interesting stories elsewhere on the bracket. Anyway, so this is still in the round of 32. And, well, we're going to keep going with this draft. So we've got Darkseer and Nyx Assassin for the University of Pittsburgh. Again, you have that wombo combo of the Darkseer, which you can usually see, and we didn't really see it happen too much in the last game. They were not really able to get the vacuum on top of the Storm Hammer in any fight because the Sven usually wasn't there when they were trying to fight. And also, there weren't a whole lot of good vacuums in the last game. Meanwhile, the other team, UNR this time, have the Outworld Devourer and the Faceless Void. Interesting that Pitt has decided to go for the Darkseer and the Nyx Assassin. Usually the Nyx is played as an offlane. I have a feeling in this case, though, they're going to play him in the support role, although we could see Burr play it in the mid. Venge is also going to get picked up by Pitt. And like we said in the last match, Vengeful Spirit pretty good against the Faceless Void. You can swap people out of Chrono. I have a feeling we're going to see G play it, although we could see Wisp play the Vengeful Spirit this time around. G is usually good at those positioning heroes, though, and very good at helping out his team. It's a very good understanding about where to be in fights. UNR go for the Faceless Void and Witch Doctor combo. They seem to be a big combo team. They've got the Hammer, they have the Chrono, and they also have the Death Ward in there to do a lot of damage in these fights.
Radiant team pick.
I think the main problem with that, though, is they weren't really able to make sure that their combos actually hit in the last match, and that's what really made them not do so well. Pitt have gone for the Zeus here. So I'm assuming it's going to be Burr with the Zeus and a support Nyx Assassin.
5 seconds remaining.
And that leaves Pitt to go for a carry here.
Reserve time.
UNR will be getting their 4th pickup now, and they still need a support and probably a carry. The OD fairly strong and can do really well in the lane. It's interesting. They may swap the Nyx Assassin and the Zeus to go up against the Outworld. Nyx can always use the Spike Carapace to stop the damage of the OD, and also just take all that mana away, which can hurt the OD pretty much at any stage of the game, but especially early when you're really counting on those Essence Aura procs.
Tide Hunter.
Dire team ban.
So they're clearly going for the big wombo combo for UNR. They've got the Tide Hunter and the Chronosphere. I mean, these are basically all big ultimates, some of them on quite long cooldowns, such as the OD and the Tide Hunter. Faceless Void and Witch Doctor are a little bit shorter. I mean, Void, it's about 100 seconds, so it's not terrible. But the OD is 160, the Tide Hunter is 150. So you're really forced to work on your cooldowns here for UNR. And if Pitt can get up some BKBs and get them out before the ultimates come through for UNR, they're really going to be fine. And the Spectre is going to be the last pickup here for Pitt. It's going to be a Ralpher Z Spectre. It's going to finish out their lineup again. Fairly global. You have the Nyx Assassin able to go with the Vendetta, Zeus Ultimate, as well as the Spectre coming in with the Haunt. So I think Pitt are just going to try to catch out UNR, work around the map, and then try to not have to face those team fights, which they can also disrupt with the Darkseer, Vacuum into Wall, and the Vengeful Spirit swap. So I think that Pitt definitely have a better draft here. Clinks is going to come in as well. UNR seem to be mainly team fight focused, and their lineup is really going to depend on them having a good start so they can get a couple of those items necessary for them to have better team fights. With that being said, we're going to get right into our match here between UNR and Pitt. Let's introduce our teams here for UNR. We've got Party Panda on the Outward Devourer, Zella Frost on the Faceless Void, TGK will be playing the Witch Doctor, Mark on the Tide Hunter, got a nice pirate hat right there, and finally Shiro handling that safe lane Clinks. Meanwhile for Pitt, it's going to be Brodok on the Darkseer, G will be playing Nyx Assassin, Burr on Zeus, Wisp will be playing the Vengeful Spirit, and finally Ralpher Z will be handling the Spectre going towards the top lane. And of course Wisp has stupid Wisp little building right there. It's very creative. Alright, so we have a couple heroes already going towards the top rune spot. She with a pretty nice set right here. And they have a couple of stuns at level 1, so they may be able to take out a hero. Also, the Spectre has a little bit, not the best hero at level 1. Brodok already at bottom. He's got a recipe for a soul ring. And, well, we'll see if he's able to put in as good of a performance as he did last game. He will be up against a Clinks and a couple of other heroes with some, well, it's just the Witch Doctor, really. And I guess it's a support Tide Hunter. Burr will find the bounty rune at top, and Party Panda will take it bot on the Outward Devourer. Maybe can do a little bit of zoning on the mid lane, but I think that's only until Zeus gets the levels, and then the OD is going to have to be careful. Going to get helped out a little bit here by the Witch Doctor, so it's going to be a solo Clinks against Darkseer for the first couple of moments of this match, and I guess Tide is going to be sort of jungling. He's got the Iron Talon. So the Vengeful Spirit going to go and try to zone out the Faceless Void, which is something that did not happen last time. And the Vengeful Spirit takes a lot of damage from him. Here comes the Witch Doctor. There's going to be a stun coming out from the Vengeful Spirit, and she's taking a lot of damage here. If he can get in range for the stun, there's going to be the stun. It'll bounce over, and Wisp could be the first blood, going to slow down the Faceless Void, and there's a nice... Oh man, Wisp just surviving there. And they're going to be able to see if they can go for a stun here. They get it onto the Faceless Void, who has a time walk in 15 seconds, so it's not going to be up for this one. Is the Spectre going to be able to get it? Not just yet. They do take a lot of damage here. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, Burr going right up against the Outward Devourer, and Outward Devourer not able to get the kill there on 49 health. Probably one hit would have done it. And Burr is just forced to back up and regen here. Outward Devourer with the early 1-1-1 build. And they took a lot of damage in the top lane. with Vengeful Spirit just getting away, avoiding the first blood. Meanwhile, in the bottom lane, it's going to be the Darkseer against the Clinks. Darkseer just trying to spam the waves out, make it difficult for the Clinks to take the last hits. OG will salve up in the mid lane, while Burr has his bottle, uses all the charges, and will hopefully try to find a rune. The Imprison once again goes out onto the Zeus. Makes him take a little bit of damage. Burr will not find the rune at top. TGK trying to steal some of the XP here. And G will get the last hit onto the creep, and it looks like Pit are able to take most of the farm out of that pool, as well as the hard camp. OD having a pretty good time in mid, currently 11 for 5. Basically at the same last hits as that Spectre. Zeus was about to go for the lightning bolt, that's put into the Astral Prison. And Quinks is currently not having as many last hits as the Darkseer, who is going to put an Ion Shell on the creep and take a little bit of money from that hard camp, and he'll also pull his own creeps over there. So he's going to be getting quite a bit of money. Oh, actually, as we're talking about that, Party Panda takes the first blood mid, and we missed that because I'd rather watch creeps die. And he'll not put another Ion Shell on. It'll take a lot of damage from Shiro. The Ion Shell will run out, so Shiro could get a little bit of gold from this. Meanwhile, top, Dark Witch Doctor takes a stun to the face. Ends up going down. He will be taking a lot of damage from that Maledict. And he will end up going down. Wow. That feel when you are trying to cast and you have to sneeze. Party Panda trying to back up, uses the bottle charge. Oh no, that's Zeus using the bottle charge. He has 1 second left on the magic stick, and Zeus actually guesses the wrong way, goes and finds the Invis rune, and we'll bottle that up. So an interesting matchup there in the mid lane with OG already getting the first blood. And Burr just turns around. He's going to continue to battle up, just trying to see if he can get some harass onto the OG. And he'll go and get the bounty rune. Gives G a little bit of time on the lane. The Power Slam hangs out on the bottom lane. He's having a little bit of fun here. Of course, that's Brodok. He's got a Mango, as well as the Soul Ring. He is currently leading the last hits right now. Not really worrying too much about the Clinks. And he puts a double Ion Shell on the creeps. On the top lane, Coconut bouncing around a couple of ways, doing a little bit of damage to the Spectre, but they can't really find the focus, and both of them are going to be fine. Party Panda takes a lot of damage from the Zeus, from that lightning bolt, almost at level 6, and he's got to keep that mana up in case he gets close enough for the kill. And he's is he going to be in? He's too far away for the arc lightning, and he won't be able to hit it. Meanwhile, on the top lane, taking a lot of damage. The Witch Doctor going to go down, and the Faceless Void uses the time dilation. D words. And that's going to be Spectre getting a double kill on the top lane. So once again, Pitt's tri-lane does extremely well. They're very used to running their tri-lanes. They love to do it. G loves that strategy. He thinks it's very difficult for teams to do well against it. And very nearly always you'll see Pitt run a tri-lane. You've got an Astral Imprison onto the Zeus by the Outward Devour, uses the high ground and also has that haste rune to get away. There's only going to be 2 hits that go onto Burr, and he's going to be back to the mid lane with that haste rune. Just running out now. Right now, Party Panda doing pretty well in the last hits, 24 for 8 ahead of the Zeus's 16. And Nyx Assassin is here on the mid lane. Not sure if he was scouted out. In fact, he is by that ward right there. He'll be going back to top. The Tide Hunter was... Where is the Tide Hunter? He's all the way back here. He's level 5 right now, so he's actually not doing as bad as he could be. She comes in from the side, going to get harassed out by the Witch Doctor. Witch Doctor has a stun available. Not going to use it. And it's just going to be a couple here staring each other down in the top lane, trying to get some farm. Spectre's actually done rather well with the pressure put on her. But once again, the Darkseer continues to lead the last hits early. And tries to get a steal on that creep with the vacuum, but ends up missing it. Another Astral Imprison onto the Zeus. Could be in trouble this time. The Our Devourer has the hammer available. Not going to use it once again. And Burr is going to get the Arcane Boots in from the Courier. Doesn't have enough for the ultimate and the Lightning Bolt. So the OD stays relatively safe there. Also has stolen 7 intelligence from the Zeus. So it makes him a little bit harder to get off his combo in the mid lane. And he might need some help to come in order to clear out this OD. They split the runes. And there's a rotation by the Tide Hunter onto the top lane. Spectre uses the dagger, and there's a wave of terror onto the Witch Doctor. Party Panda comes in from the south, gonna get scouted out by G. There's a TP in by the Darkseer, and he's got the vacuum. It's just to really stop Party Panda from doing anything here. There's gonna be a stun that actually misses, and I think Pitt are just defending here. They're getting a little bit aggressive. They feel like they have to do something with Brodok. He's got 3 levels into the vacuum, and he's going to put another level for Ion Shell. He's going to get slowed down. He has a surge available. G is actually going to TP out and go to mid. Darkseer gets the kill on the Tide Hunter. OD will take out Zeus, and Shiro is behind enemy lines right here. There can be a surge in onto the Spectre, doing a lot of damage with that Ion Shell, and that's a double kill for Brodok already. Time dilation gets used, and Spectre doesn't know that Shiro's there, and there's going to be a nice swap back, but actually Rafferty runs right back up, and Wisp could be in trouble here. Oh, doesn't actually go down. So in the end, it is a couple of kills across the map. The Zeus went down in the mid lane, and 2 went down on top. So Pitt are still looking pretty good, even though the Zeus did go down. G has a stun available, not going to use it quite yet onto the OD. Also has the mana burn, which is very good. And also the OD doesn't have any bottle charges right now. And G a little bit slow there. Probably could have gone onto the OD, but wasn't able to get anything off. Now there's a couple of heroes centered around the mid lane. We've got Shiro on the Clinks. He's not farming anymore. And there's going to be the Han in. Party Panda is going to Astral himself. And there's the stun is going to miss. Burr not able to get that lightning bolt off. They want to try to go for this kill onto the OD. But Rafferty gets him underneath the tower. Shiro going to get stunned up and killed down. And now Rafferty has another dagger available on the backside. Darkseer gets a vacuum onto the Tide Hunter. Tide Hunter not level 6 yet, doesn't have the Ravage. And that's 4 down. And Faceless Void already went down prior to that. Maybe he went down early. In any case, really 5 kills ended up getting taken out by Pitt. And they can go in on this tier 1 tower a little bit, even though the respawns are so quick, really. For UNR, since they're so low level, they'll be up to defend this pretty quickly. But right now, Pitt 3 kills to 10, really looking good in this game. The Astral gets used on an illusion, and it does some damage. The Lightning Bolt comes through. Is Wisp is going to be able to get anything off? He has a swap available, wasn't able to use it, not able to get in range, and there's gonna be a surge getting used. Wisp doesn't actually want to go in on that. And there's a dagger onto the Witch Doctor. He has a stun available. He's going to try to heal his way out of this one. He's still getting slowed down. Rafferty is just chasing him down. He uses the coconut, but it really doesn't stop Spectre too much at all. And That's another kill for the Spectre. If we take a look at the gold, 600. Oh wow, Clinks ends up taking the Nyx Assassin on bottom, but 689, and she's almost. I think that is going to be the Drums of Endurance coming in for her.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
I think the one thing that UNR can use to get back into this game is the Faceless Void getting a good chrono, and then Shiro and the OD just getting a lot of damage off of that. Right now, Rafferzy just does a ridiculous amount of damage, and it's very hard to deal with. There's a Han in onto the mid lane, lots of damage on the party panda. They hardly even, well, Zeus doesn't have a lightning bolt available, and he's actually just going to back up. Unfortunately, well, Rafferzy actually wants to continue to pursue this. They're going to get the vision on the party panda, gets the urn down. The hammer does come through, do a lot of damage to the Vengeful Spear. The Ravage is going to finish her off, and Rafferzy very deep, needs to try to get out. Party panda with full mana and an Astral in a couple of seconds, but he's got to be careful. The ultimate of the Zeus will take out OD, so it ends up being a 1-for-1 with the support going down for Pitt. About even, though. And then Zeus will also get an Aether Lens.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
In
attack.
terms of levels, right now Darkseer is leading that. He's got a Mechanism and a Soul Ring. Again, Brodok just doing extremely well in these matches. It's almost like he's found his place as an offlaner, just really disrupting the enemy's carry, making a big impact on this game. Burr is going to get stunned up in the mid lane. Still has a double damage rune going. And getting pursued out is Shiro. He's got a Vendetta behind him, as well as an Iron Shell. He's just going to wait until Shiro realizes it, and he actually doesn't. He doesn't know that there's an Iron Shell on him, and the Vendetta of the Nyx is eventually going to finish that off. You've got the Darkseer here with a wall available. There's a vacuum into wall. And these illusions are bouncing the coconut around them. Power Slam, once again, runs down the OD, and the Lightning Bolt will finish him off. Well, with the Darkseer's help. And they are free to go for this tier 1 tower. Again, big skills getting used by Pitt and doing and looking pretty damn well in this game. 2 kills for them, and they could definitely go for this tier 1 tower if they want. Although their lineup isn't really the best at pushing, especially without the Spectre. The Spectre's just hanging out at top. Almost got that tower down.
Radiant's middle tower is under
And they're
attack.
just going to hit this tower down. There's a surge and a swap onto the Witch Doctor. He's not able to get the stun off in the Lightning Bolt. Big burst damage from Pitt is going to take out the Witch Doctor, who is a little bit far forward on that mid lane. Spectre will continue to go in on top, probably take down this tower, so this will be 2 towers going to Pitt. Meanwhile, there's a Chronosphere on bottom onto Brodok. Brodok has a surge available. He's going to turn and fight. He's got the Iron Shell going. And Shiro, with the Sentry Ward, they're not going to be able to see him, and they're just going to go onto the Faceless Void. OD has reappeared here, uses the Astral Imprisonment. Brodok has to be careful. He's not got a whole lot of resources for this. Maybe he'll be able to get a Surge off onto Rafferzy, but Rafferzy taking a lot of damage. There's a Zeus ultimate, ends up taking down Clinks and Faceless Void. There's a nice Ravage on the backside, taking out 2, and Wisp trying to go after Mark, and Mark uses a nice anchor smash on the G. G has to be careful, has a double stun available. It is going to happen, but the Lightning Strike. What is a Lipper? Lightning Strike actually ends up taking the Tidehunter out first, and that's an ultra kill for Zeus. Berg just going absolutely out of his mind right here. Got that Aether Lens and making pretty good use out of it. We'll call it a full 5-man team wipe. Look at that measly 1 gold given to UNR. Net for that team fight, and once again Pitt looking really good throughout these fights, and the XP definitely highly in their favor, as well as gold. Right now it's just UNR on the back foot, and Pitt are looking pretty good to get into the next round of the CSL playoffs. Tidehunter uses the Anchor Smash on the creeps here. And he'll just take him out. He's got 1,500 gold waiting on that Blink Dagger. It's clear that that's what he's going, especially with all the deaths that he has. I mean, he needs to go for that Blink Dagger, and the support Tide really hasn't been working out too well for them. Hasn't been able to save them too much in these fights. Spectre right now. got a Blade of Alacrity. It looks like they just want to try to end this pretty quickly. Nyx Assassin ends up taking the Outward Devourer in the jungle. Very easy for him to take the Outward Devourer out. Meanwhile, we have Bird doing some scouting and a double kill with the ultimate. That's pretty ridiculous. And Spectre is also going to chase down the Tide. This is not looking good at all for UNR. Pit is just chasing them down all over the map. It's 6 kills to 24, and the only reason that Pit have not ended the game yet is because they're not the best at pushing.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They are getting some damage onto that tier 2 tower with the Spectre, and Faceless Void was trying to push out top. He's getting some onto the tower.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
The bottom tower ended up going to Brodok, and looks like the Dire are going to back out of here. And meanwhile, top, the Faceless Void, he's going to be fine. I don't think there's too much that the Darkseer can do about this. And actually the Spectre ult going to get used. They're going to chase the Faceless Void through the trees, and they are going to take him down. Meanwhile, back mid, we've got Bird putting a Yule Scepter onto Party Panda. Oh, Zeus could get caught out here. He's being very aggressive. Wants to try to take out the OD, and he's actually going to get stunned out, and there goes the hammer. Witch Doctor takes the big kill there, so it's not really gold going to the right place, but they do end up taking the Zeus out, and here comes the Nixon Vendetta. And from behind here, is he going to be able to find something useful? There's a Witch Doctor. There's a lot of heroes here. He doesn't really have a whole big chance of getting out of here alive if he tries to go in. So he's just going to try to... No, actually the Vendetta going to run out. Guardian Greaves on the Darkseer. The OD has a Hand of Midas. This game isn't going late at all. Maybe it's just a comeback mechanic type of thing. The Spectre does finish off the Yasha. What is our Void doing? He's probably going to get a Blink Dagger. And this Tide, he's getting too close to a Blink Dagger of his own. So they're getting Blinks, and this Clinks also doesn't have anything. So Blinks, you got a Clinks, and the other team's doing really well. The Dagger will end up hitting onto the Witch Doctor and Spectre. Look how far she's willing to go for that. Hardly thinking at all, really wanting to go for that kill. But the tier 2 tower taking a lot of damage from Pit. And they're going to keep going, doing damage to the creeps. They do have to be worried about UNR's high ground. They have a Chrono to go up against. They also have the Hammer and the Tidehunter. Hammer down for 70 seconds. So if they can get a pick off here, looks like they just want to go for top. So Pit are going to rotate over to the top lane and see if they can take another tower possibly. They've got a lot of farm. They basically have every single advantage in this match. They're going to clear out the creeps pretty quickly. Brodok, he's probably going to get a blink pretty soon. And with this deep observer ward, they're able to be very aggressive. And well, we'll see if UNR, this is going to be their stand really. Whenever Pit decides to push, this is really going to show if UNR are able to get back into this game. They're going to continue to push out mid, doing hardly any damage to the tier 1 tower. Man, they may rotate over to bottom just to push that out and get the last remaining outer tower. I think they know that if they can take a fight in the base, it's probably going to end the game. Wisp could get caught out here. He's going right into 3 heroes. Vendetta comes through, and they put down an observer ward. The stun goes out onto the Witch Doctor, and they get the triple stun. Big vacuum. There's a Han. The Ravage will go through, and no one goes down just yet. The Wisp will go down, as does the Darkseer. There's a lot of damage coming out from Kling's just trying to do as much as he can here, but it's about to run out. The stun will miss, and Shiro, he uses the Shadow Walk to try to get away, but the Urn will finish things off. That's a full 5-man team wipe, and really Pit, there's nothing that's going to stop them right now. That was basically a very good fight. They didn't get the Chrono off, and they didn't have the Death Ward because they initiated right onto the Witch Doctor. So I'm not going to say it was a perfect fight because it wasn't, but it was a very good fight from UNR, and still they only got 2 kills from it. The mid tower taking a lot of damage, almost going down to these heroes. But will get spit on by the Tidehunter, and that's just going to sound the treat for Pit. They know that it's time to back up. All the heroes are respawning, and it's pretty much time for them to leave. They may push in bottom now, or they're going to smoke up, and Wisp is being aggressive, putting down a ward. They're going to smoke up and go bottom. And I guess this is going to be them pushing in the base and seeing if they can take a big team fight. Because the thing about UNR's lineup is they put down the hammer, and they put down the Tidehunter ultimate, so they don't have those for another minute. And that's really where Pitt's lineup shines. They can take these engagements a little bit faster than UNR. And they still have the Zeus ult. So, I mean, things are looking pretty good for them. G is very deep with the Vendetta, and they don't see him. G is going to put the damage onto the OD. OD in trouble, gets stunned up, and the Zeus ult is going to finish off the OD. Down for 50 seconds with buyback. And the rest of the Dire, they are taking down this tier 2 tower, the last remaining hour tower here for UNR.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Big advantage for XP, big advantage for net worth. And Pitt are going to back up, probably take a Roshan, and I guess probably go to end the game. There is an Aetherons being built onto the Vengeful Spirit. There's a Blink Dagger on the Darkseer. The Spectre has a Manta style and 2,000 gold. The Nyx has a Blink Dagger coming in on him. And the Zeus. It's a point booster. It'll be interesting to see what that goes into. Do have to be a little bit worried about this Quinx's damage. He has a Desolator now, so it's no joke what he does. But he does have to be able to survive through these fights, and it's been a little bit difficult. He got a little bit lucky in the last one, being able to take down 2 heroes before going down. Well, here come Pitt. They've taken out the Roshan, they put the Aegis on Spectre. And with the lanes push in, they can easily go for a tier 3 tower on the high ground right here. The ultimates are back up for the Radiant, so this is going to be their main fight right here. And with them smoked up, they're going for the kills. A little bit disorganized. G is in Vendetta, and they're coming in from behind. This is a wraparound, and the first casualty is going to be the Faceless Boy. Takes a stun to the face, and now they use the Zeus ultimate to see where everybody else is. The Tidehunter 100% goes down, and there's the Spectral, goes right into the base, goes for the Witch Doctor. He's going to use the Coconut, and he's going to do everything he can to stay alive. Unfortunately, that's not going to be enough. He will go down in the end to the Spectre, and well, Pitt are going to have to push in mid as top is fairly pushed already with Quinx there right now. OD, Invis Room picked up. It's, wow, 15 seconds only on that respawn, so this is going to be quick respawns, and UNR are going to be right back into this if they want. Here come Pitt, right back up.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
They use the Fortify. They're trying to delay this for as long as possible. The Ravage and the Chrono are going to be here, as well as the Death Ward. This is going to be UNR's chance to show that they belong in this game. 9 kills to 30 for 25 minutes. This is the big fight. And there's already the Blink Forward by G. Uses the Carapace, and he'll get out. Only Ralph for Z right now. He's got the Aegis, and this is how Pitt want to play it. They just put the Aegis up front. They leave the rest of their team in behind. Tidehunter's looking for a good Ravage. He might find it right here, but his Blink is going to get canceled by the Zeus. And he's getting very low already. Here comes another Vendetta in by G. And there's a Chronosphere. He actually sees 4 of them. G is going to go down right away, and Ralph for Z on the backside of it. He goes right on the party pen. He uses the Astral Imprisonment. There's a nice 3-man vacuum. And there's a nice 4-man Ravage. I mean, they get the fight, and Ralph for Z still has that Aegis. They're going for this one. Triple kill by Ralph for Z. The Aegis is going to get popped. Look at all those buybacks. They might try to go back. They end up taking the ranged racks. And the Spectre trying to get out of here. They use the drums trying to get her out. But look at Zelafrost already taking a lot of damage. Shiro trying to do something here. This black pool is going all over the Radiant base. And that was the fight that the Radiant wanted. The Dire are going to back up, possibly push out another lane, try to take another tower with these ultimates down. This is all the ultimates that were used for UNR, and I mean, the Aegis did get popped, but with those ultimates down, UNR really don't have anything. And that was as good as a fight could go for UNR, except for the enemy having the Aegis, Like, you probably could have taken down the Spectre if she didn't have the Aegis there. Things would have gone a little bit differently. Maybe you wouldn't have lost to Rax. But this is only going to continue to get more and more emphatic for Pitt. Brodok has 3,800 gold. He's going to buy up a Hood of Defiance. Aether Lens finished on... well, actually, he's got the Pipe of Insight. Zeus has gone for the Aghanim Scepter. They only get stronger, and UNR, they have to try harder and harder to try to survive these. So they're going to push in through bottom. You still have 60 seconds left on the Tidehunter Ravage, 70 on the Sanity's Eclipse, and Chronosphere is back up, as so is the Death Ward. So can Pitt go in here? They've got the Pipe of Insight, so things are going to be not so effective right now. And here comes the push. Vengeful Spirit just hanging out near the river for some reason. And now the creeps have respawned. They're going to be easily taken care of. UNR don't seem interested in pushing this out at all. They're going to push in top with the Klings. This is not even TPing back just yet. There's no Ravage on Tidehunter for 20 seconds. They're going to take this tower down pretty quickly. The Sanity's Eclipse down for 25. A couple of BKBs are out for the OD and the Kling, so this is going to help them out a little bit. A blink forward by G gets some mana burn onto Outward Devourer. It's so ineffective because he hardly has anything. There's a blink forward by the Tidehunter. He finally gets that Ravage off, but the OD is already done. Doesn't have buyback with that BKB purchase. Wasn't able to get it off. And Nyx, he ends up going down right away. There's a BKB shield just doing absolutely everything he can. Burr ends up almost. He doesn't actually get out, but it doesn't matter. That's 4 down for UNR, and that's going to be GTWP. Pitt are going to take this series 2-0, and they're going to move on to the round of 16 in the CSL playoffs on that road back to the semifinals. And I think this year they have DreamHack that they're actually playing at, so it'll be interesting to see who ends up playing there. And that'll do it for me today. Did a lot of casting. The BTS series is finishing up, and all the matches are into the quarterfinals, so that's going to be the last set of matches for today. So I'm going to be done for now. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, cheers.